Hi everyone, and welcome to our YouTube channel, the best place for everything sewing. Today I want to talk to you about how to make sure your patterns are trued up after you've made some changes to them. Most of us need to alter our patterns to fit our body better. Or maybe we want to change the design, lower the neckline a little bit, or maybe raise it. But how do we make sure our pattern still sews up nicely after we've made all these changes? Keep watching and I'll show you what to look for. I have in front of me a half-size block for a basic top. This is the front and this is the back. They don't have any seam allowance, and it's important to remember that whenever you have to do any truing, you must do it at the stitch line. Why? Because truing up at the cut line will not ensure that your stitch lines are also trued up. While in certain places it works fine, in others it doesn't, especially where curves intersect straight lines. So as a best practice, remember to remove the seam allowance. I like to make a little snip perpendicular to the stitch line and fold mine out of the way. So, what should you look for? I like to start with seam lines that need to be sewn together and make sure they are the same length before doing anything else. This ensures I don't have to do the same job twice. Place your shoulder seams together and check if they are equal. If they're not, just keep watching. I'll show you what to do a bit later. While you're at this point, make sure there's a smooth transition between the front and back neckline and the front and back armscye. Okay, moving on to the side seam. Place the back pattern on top of the front, matching at the armscye, and make sure the seam lines are the same length. Don't worry if you have a dart. You can just measure up until the first dart leg, make a small mark on the back pattern, and then slide the mark over to the second dart leg and continue from there. While some pattern drafting books insist that the side seams also have to be the same shape, it's not always the case. We're not all super symmetric, so sometimes you'll have them different shapes. You still do need to ensure they're the same length though. I then move to the center front or back neckline and go clockwise. You don't have to do the same, but it's best to follow a sequence to ensure you don't accidentally skip over anything. At the center front or back neckline, you need to make sure the neckline is perpendicular to the center front line for at least 1/4 of an inch or 6 millimeters before it curves. There is one exception though, and that's V or asymmetrical necklines. The center front line needs to be a straight line. Yes, you should check it even if it looks straight, because mistakes can happen when drawing or taping. The center front waistline is the second place where you need a 90-degree angle. Moving on towards the side seam. While it's best to have a 90-degree angle between the waistline and the side seam, it's not always possible. But what you always need to make sure is that there is a smooth transition between the front and back. We've already measured our side seams and made sure they are the same length, so we can put our front and back next to each other and look at how they come together. Since I'm working with blocks, the side seams are straight and symmetric. But in some cases you will have shaped side seams, meaning they won't fit together nicely along the whole seam like this. When you have shaped side seams, what you need to do is place them together for about 1/2 inch to 1 inch or 1 to 2 centimeters from the waistline, as they would end up when sewn together, like this. And check if there's a smooth transition between the front and back. A curve is good, any kind of angle not so much. As you can see here, it's not really perfect because, well, I just did this on the go. So this would need truing up. The last place to check is the armscye curve. Just like we did at the waistline, place the seam lines together for about 1/2 inch to 1 inch or 1 to 2 centimeters and look at the armscye curve. You want to have a smooth transition with no discernible peak or valley where they join. And that's it! That's everything you need to check to ensure your top pattern sews up nicely. Don't forget to leave me a thumbs up and hit up that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all the fun. Bye!